waiting on a lift, waiting on parts. The Corvette, we're waiting on parts. The ramp truck, I'm waiting on the new sides to get delivered. So with that being said, we don't really have much to do today that I can accomplish, because obviously there's nothing here. So it's time to start tearing into our parts heap here. So if you guys don't know, we are tearing this thing apart because I need the axles for my rig over here. So without further ado, I'm going to pull the engine and trans, then we're going to roll it back onto the trailer, pull the axles out from under it on the trailer, lay it on the trailer, take it for scrap. So let's get this done, and I'm ready to go wheeling again. So as you can tell, I don't know when the GoPro died there. I've been literally out here just trying to get this thing out. Obviously I only have a couple. Unbelievable. Yes, I got my speaker playing, so my phone's ringing. Unknown name, cancel that. It's always something. Anyway, so this is going to be a little bit of a parts collection that I'm going to keep. Obviously you guys do know I need the alternator out of this, so that'll actually get put on the truck. This serpentine belt's actually better than mine, so since I have it off, I'm going to end up tossing this one on. Then I'll end up keeping that one as a spare. I have a spare drive shaft now. The front drive shaft I'm actually getting ready to pull out right now, but I figured I'd go ahead and just go ahead and go ahead. So I figured I'd go ahead and go ahead, but anyway, I figured I'd go ahead and kind of keep like a parts bin out here. So I'm gonna go get a tote or build some sort of shelf that we can kind of store these parts. I think they'll actually all tuck right in here. So we're gonna utilize like this portion of the space, or you know, this side over here, and then we'll store all of those parts on the side. And rather than it looking like this when I go off-roading, it'll actually be in a nice little cozy bin that we'll keep here, and if I need anything or anybody else needs anything that we need or that we have, we can tear it out, put it back together, and it'll be nice. Also, I'm working on a toolbox right now with Michael Pro Tools, so we're gonna have probably a toolbox that'll sit on this side, and it'll clean up all of these tools over here, especially since now I know what I need. After tearing this thing apart, I know what sockets I need, I know what tools I need, and to be honest, it was super easy. So that's why I tore it down the way I did, and that's why it kind of took me a little bit longer than normal. Normally I would just disconnect the trans, pull it out, and then I drop the trans out the bottom. It's just easier to do that as one person, but this way I took all the accessories and everything off, and it's just easier. So without further ado, let me go ahead and get this engine and trans all yanked out. Now it will be coming out all as one unit. Normally I wouldn't do that because I'd have the accessories and all the heavy stuff on here, but since I took all that stuff off, we'll pull it all out as one unit and just go from there. So let me set you guys up on a time lapse, and we'll get this engine out, then we'll get it on the trailer, take the axles out of it. Was a heck of a lot easier than I really thought it was going to be. Now obviously I've done this a few times with things. As you can tell, the engine hoist was not going to move, so basically what I did was, as you see in the video, I hooked it up to the front of the XJ here, and I just winched it back. And now here's the bonus that I actually didn't even know about, and I'm actually super excited about. This is actually a Reman Jasper engine. As you can tell here by the void if removed sticker, this engine's actually been replaced before, so we might end up hanging on to this engine a little bit. The transmission actually seems like it's in pretty good shape, and the transfer case is actually a lot shinier than I thought it would be. The guy did say this thing only had 93,000 miles on it, but who knows. So let me go ahead and get this thing, the engine laid down here. I'm gonna get this on the trailer, and we're gonna go ahead and start dropping the axles, because tomorrow I want to be able to scrap this thing. No sense to keep it. Plus another thing that I learned that I'm going to end up keeping is that seat. I didn't realize my seat was actually as bad as it is, but you can see here the back of this seat is actually in good shape. The seat on the bottom is actually in good shape. And then when I came back here, obviously I don't really look at this side of the Jeep, I don't really notice it, but my seat is all jacked up. So I've got to admit, for $200 that I purchased this thing for, I'm gonna have so many spare parts, so many good parts that I can actually keep. I know this probably doesn't look like much in the videos, but this thing is flexing out hard in here. You can tell the tire is completely stuffed up in, and this is a jump. Like this is a little bit of a hill here. It's kind of a little bit waist high, but man, the Jeep flexes, and it flexes hard for sure. All right, let's get this thing off of the hill here before codes gets called for me parking weird. Man, I love this. All right, as you can see, we've got it loaded up here. Now, it was a little bit easy. Basically, I just turned this truck around here real quick and used the winch on the front of the Jeep. The Jeep is coming in handy for so many things, but we're gonna go ahead and get everything torn out of here. I'm basically gonna leave the shocks and everything in. I know they're brand new, but I just don't wanna mess with shocks. I don't need shocks, I don't need the springs. I'm just gonna leave the calipers and everything because we can just transfer my calipers over. But let's just get these axles on this thing, lay it down, and then the final thing is I gotta pull the seat out, and then I gotta pull that harness bar out. So let's get to work. I know a lot of you will get that out a lot faster, but I'm one man by myself. So the front diff is out. I'll go ahead and slide it where I need it to go. Now the last thing, take the steering gearbox out of here, and I don't really need anything else under the front. I might take the calipers, I'm not really sure. They do seem to be good. That one actually looks brand new. No, it looks kind of dirty right now, but that one looks actually new, so I might keep the calipers. I'm not really sure yet. But let me go ahead and get this down, then we're gonna start tearing out the rear. You can tell we've got the rear out of this thing, and I don't need anything else. Sort of the other thing, I'm glad we actually didn't do anything crazy with this, because there is a gigantic hole in the rear frame back here. But I'm glad that we got this thing. This thing is definitely going to save me a bunch more money than I actually anticipated. Over here, we went ahead and I pulled the e-brake cables so that we actually can have a functioning e-brake again. We've obviously, as you can tell, we've got the rear and then we've got the front rear. So I'm excited to get my Jeep back up and running and actually be able to do some wheeling. Sort of the other thing I wanted to show you guys too here real quick is I'm gonna have to do wheel cylinders this, and I'm probably going to go ahead and just do an axle seal while I'm here. I believe it's just the wheel cylinder leaking. This thing was low on brake fluid, but I might as well just do an axle seal while I have this thing out and while it's easily to do. Plus I might as well weld the rear, so I might end up welding it, I might not. I'm not 100% on that yet. I think I might end up welding it just to do it and have it. Again, I do have that rear over there in case I want to actually put like a locker in it or build a rear. But I think it's time that we do some kind of upgrades to this thing, because we got to take this thing to the next level. Again, I'm excited. I'm glad that this thing's ready to rock, ready to roll. Tomorrow we will actually drop it off at the scrapyard, and then my driveway will be clear. Then we can clean off Josh's trailer again, finally. JPM Tech, huge thank you to you for letting me use the trailer. I know I kind of didn't tell you about this, so I apologize, but thank you very much for being a great sport and being an awesome friend. So there you guys have it. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe. And I know you guys hate when these videos are in the dark, so we're gonna go ahead and end it here. So take care, guys. We'll see you in the next one.